folo. Adékúnlé ò fẹ́ wàhálà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ò fẹ́ ní ìra rárá. Jẹ́jẹ́ lọmọ Èkó Adékúnlé máma ń lọ ní tiẹ̀ rè. Akíkanjú ọ̀hún akin. Adékúnlé máa wo òun níran. Ọmọ lóhun fólú máa wo òun níran. Ò fẹ́ wàhálà, ò fẹ́ ìnira láyé torí orí adé níyàn. Adékúnlé ṣá máa wo òun níran.
Always the first to talk about your life. Look at the irony. Shame you for public on the ready for side. Don't get it twisted. I know the kids I see that shit is not healthy. Keeping my distance. Some people are worse than pandemic. If it go off my peace, then I go take my leave. If it no be money, do not disturb me, please. If it go peace, that's some expensive shit. Oh. If it no be money, do not disturb me, please. I just roll on. It is what it is. Yeah. Mama, baby, leave up. Money no they bring happiness. So now when I get money, I realize. Oh, but I know be hypocrite. I dey pray make you get your own too. See bad times will never last. They let me love my last. Life comes at you so fast. Small time you don't become waiting you hate. Okay, they hate their lives and they're lonely. No energy for nobody. We know they happy for me. Okay, you hate your life and you're lonely. No energy for nobody. No waste your time and I know say yo. If it go cost my peace, then I go take my leave. If it no be money, do not disturb me, please. If it go cost my peace, that's some expensive shit. Oh. If it no be money, do not disturb me, please. I just hold up. It is what it is. Mama, baby, leave up.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me here on Let's Pop with Iwerton. It's your girl, Iwerton here. Let's Pop with Iwerton. I'm so excited to be here this beautiful afternoon with a beautiful guest on the show. We'll be talking about the main topic in regards to civilized Africa before colonization. And it's such a very mind-blowing topic when I was going through this. But thank you guys for joining us live on TikTok. Kindly share the live and invite people to join in on StreamYard, Facebook.
On that YouTube.
Yeah, and that YouTube,
Live?
definitely. Yes.
Live?
Yes. It's definitely live. I think it's going live right now.
Just
Yeah,
there,
it's
sit
still
there.
it's still voting.
It's okay.
Alrighty, but thank you guys for joining us this beautiful afternoon. Good morning, everyone. It was about redefining Africa, also redefining you, and it's so important in regards to redefining Africa. But I feel like we're not talking about it enough. Amazing guest on the show. She's gonna introduce herself. This beautiful afternoon.
One, Karibuni Sana.
Yeah.
Go live. There it is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
click go live. On the blue button. The blue indicating.
Alrighty.
Okay.
You're good?
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, Karibuni Sana. You guys have been amazing. Good afternoon, good morning to everyone who's here
for the first time, but of course to all our amazing listeners, you know who I am. If you're listening behind the radio, that is on the radio station. This is JOBY, of course, on the mic.
Okay.
No, usually this is actually, I think, I don't know how many nice can interview. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really rare to pop on shows
Right.
that are not really mine.
Right.
Or that I'm not literally like, you know, supposed to be conversating. But thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and thank you for accepting to be here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I feel like you're well knowledgeable in regards to this topic about Africans. And I feel like, not even I feel, a lot of young people don't really know about who they are.
Sure.
And I feel like that's the search in regards to even a lot of things that we see nowadays as young people. It's like people are trying to find out who they are.
Yeah.
And if you know who you are, you'll basically understand your purpose and
Sure.
basically how you're supposed to everything. And that's why I feel like before even talking about redefining Africa, we should talk about redefining Africans, individuals.
Yeah.
When you basically start from the root, that's when everything, the light and the bulbs really pop out. Yeah, but I feel like it's something which nobody talks about or people talk about, but it's not really. There's a lot of other non-destructive things which
Yeah,
I
feel
it's
like
so true.
I want to relate with the video that has been going viral.
Yeah,
there's this lady who took something that I've never seen.
Okay.
Something that I wished personally, I'd say right now I don't really board matter so much.
Right.
I used to see pastors. I think you've seen pastors always, you know, coming in matatus, preaching.
Yes.
It's like, you know, having freedom to express yourself, freedom to speech. That is basically, especially when it comes to religion, because pastor can hop on any bus. You know, people are going to work, they're just all silent.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own stress. Someone is talking about what, but there's just always that pastor.
Right.
Always there. So there's this lady who took to the stand, and she actually brought this matter up, and she said, why is it that pastors always have to be the destructive ones, you know, in the buses?
Right.
Nobody wants to listen to preaching when you're going to work. If I want to go to church, I'm gonna go to Sunday. I know the day to go to church, and I know where the Bible is at. If I want to read the Bible, I will read. If I want to pray, I know the time I'm gonna pray.
Right.
But why is it that actually when it comes to pastors, they have to walk freely on the matatu, distracting people, not actually considering even if other religions are there? And it's always the Christians. She was very specific. I love the way she said it. It's always the Christians you'll see doing this. You'll never see Muslims taking their Qurans to preach on the matatus. Right. It is crazy. And she also mentioned of why is it that people for the longest time have normalized this, and we're so disturbed about this. Because not everyone is comfortable listening to a preacher in the matatu, but nobody has talked about it. She questioned, what are we afraid of? You know, and if you try to look at that, it literally engages everything else, like, and questions everything else.
Right.
What is it that people are so scared to talk about? You know the truth, but you're so scared to talk about. Why?
Maybe in regards, I think I saw that video, and when the time she was basically talking about, actually nobody was really supporting her, because I feel like when the ministers really pop in these verses, I've been in that situation. I see them asking for permission from the ones I've seen. They ask for permission from the tout to the driver if they can preach in the bus.
Okay.
Literally, the ones who are saying
ones, and we just have the ones who can hop in anyhow. You know, and matatu do not have actually standards.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna say.
They don't have standards.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about matatu.
Yeah, we did. We did talk about that.
You know, that if you are actually a matatu that is taking people to the office, these are people who are, nobody wants to listen to you preaching. You know, put some maybe even classic 105 is some literally, you know. Put some manable, put on even Black Hot Fire, jam onto the music. You know, nobody wants to listen to. I've already prayed when I walked out of the house.
But guys were literally giving her like, it's so
it was a silent treatment.
Yeah, even in the comments, everybody was against her. Like, just play Candy Crush, put on headphones.
Well, majority.
And I believe it's because, like, as Kenya, it's basically nationwide. It's a Christian country.
Africa, you're not allowed to question religion.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Right.
Especially you're questioning a pastor. Like, why? You know, I think that's why no one was actually even understanding what she said.
Right.
No, people didn't understand why she raised this as a question.
Yeah.
But if you actually try look at, if you're a woke person, look at this deeply and in a mature way, not in a religious way, not in a, you know, indoctrinated mindset type of way, you understand she's actually making a whole lot of sense. And actually,
Right.
personally, I've had that disturbed.
Okay.
I remember when I used to tout, used to use matatu
Mhm.
from Thika Road coming to work all the way to Ngong Road.
Yeah.
We used to have that past like
Mm.
every morning, every morning. So for me, the best thing,
Yeah.
earphones.
Okay.
I'm gonna put on earphones,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be loud. Like I'm not listening to none of what you're saying. I
Yeah.
don't wanna hear a goddamn word.
That.
I wanna listen to nothing. Like I'm
Right.
all good. Shuke,
Right.
you know, unless maybe I'm asking a conductor like what if I'm paying with M-Pesa.
Yeah.
Fine. And I feel like it's something that should have been questioned from a long time,
Yeah.
but it's just again generalizes everything. So many people are so scared to question education, religion,
Yeah. Which is okay to really question.
politics.
Okay, because you're trying to
But
understand
that's
and
not how we're
learn.
raised.
Yeah, that is so really pretty.
Thank
today.
you.
Yes.
Aw, your heart.
You look like a doll.
My husband.
Coming.
Yeah.
It's a month of
I'm waiting for you,
manifestation
baby.
and seeing everything you've been trying to manifest and capture first.
God
June
damn.
is gonna be so
I'm about to
peaceful
get
for
into my
us.
soft girl era.
Yes.
You guys are not ready. I don't know.
June is that
I
month.
just feel like something. I don't know. When I'm in this feeling, something
Yeah.
little is just
And
about to happen.
right? And
I'm
I
just
the other day you were telling
energy.
me that actually I learned something about that. And you're very patient because you know if something is taking a long time to basically come to you, it comes double.
Yeah, it comes
Yeah.
in double. I think that's what has happened in my life for
Yeah.
the longest time. Like I've been so patient with a lot.
Yeah.
Building my life, getting jobs,
Yeah.
literally, and everything that I've been patient
Yeah.
all about,
Yeah.
despite the hardships,
Yeah.
it has come exactly or even maybe double what I expected.
Right.
And I'm so grateful to the creator and the universe for always just looking out
Yeah.
for me. Mazzy.
It's gonna
Yeah,
get
so
better.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just getting in my soft girl era.
It is
You
that
know?
time. June is
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
so softer
There's just
for
something
you.
that is inside me
You've-
that I can't
yeah.
I can't explain how I'm feeling
Yeah.
lately, and
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah.
You know, soft girl era. You know,
Manifestation.
flowers,
Yes.
chocolates,
Cocktails.
like no
Candies.
candies, everything good.
Everything good for this month. But thank you so much for that tip in regards to what you talked about. Like there's so much fear in regards to speak out. That is so true.
Yeah.
And even the time I was really researching, and there's this lady, Dr. Arikana, who was basically kicked out of the AU organization for just basically pointing out truth. And it's basically the fact that you're speaking the truth. I don't want to hear that. And the influence that she had, they were like, maybe this lady is going to open in regards to who they are, what they have, they're hiding from us. And honestly, this was very heartbreaking. Literally, I couldn't even help it. It was so breaking for me. Researching about how Africa was before colonization and how we've been taught, or basically everything I know right now before I even learned about it is like, oh my god, it's like in the dark. I literally cried and I literally called my mentor. I was like, I don't know if I can handle everything I'm about to learn every time. The way Africans have been perceived is like we are the ones needing help from the Western world. We're the ones who need help. But our failure is their success because everything they're doing or what they are right now is because of us, Africa.
Exactly.
Literally, that was really heartbreaking for me, honestly. And it's like, it's very, as in, if you have, I don't know what kind of heart you have, or if you're that person, you're like, you know what, if you don't understand who you are, somebody is telling your culture, your identity, and it's hidden away from you, it's very heartbreaking, honestly.
I imagine I live very, very well, but I think for me, I don't know, it's because I've always been an open-minded person, always ready for anything. I don't know, it's because of also brain a type of life. Like I was ready for anything. From anyone, I'm always ready for anything. So I remember when I came to Blackwood Fire and they started learning all this. And up to date, they still shocked. Every single yesterday there was something Kamlesh told me here, and I was like, I'm still shocked. You know, I'm still shocked. Something you learn, you get shocked. But it's true when you look at the history and when you come to realize actually how we've been fooled, lied to. It's so hurting.
It is
really
hurting.
Breaks your heart. Then you start checking on daily reports being given by the same people who have not managed to change a goddamn thing.
Thank you.
Know? Fueling their lives. Like it's heartbreaking. For me, I think I've shed tears a couple of times in most of my shows.
Oh my
like
gosh.
Najipata to make emotional. You're reporting something, it just triggers you.
It's
Like, God
so
damn, there's no
true.
way someone is going through
Yeah.
this. I'm positive again, because if I try to look at 3 years back from when I started and now,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like when I started, and then I think within few months captured everything. Like
Yeah.
started connecting the dots.
Yeah.
People like, so many people are damn asleep, because at that time
so
I'd already
true.
started following people like Sydney Akano.
Okay.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
So many people literally talking the truth about Africa. So ukiangalia wana relate na hizi ukweli uko like what, and
It's
it's
so
true. Africa
true.
was so indoctrinated.
Yeah.
But years, if you try to look at things today, so many people are waking up again.
Yeah.
So it gives me hope personally. I'm
Yeah.
so positive about it.
Yeah.
And I believe we're gonna conquer.
Hopefully,
it's
I
happening.
feel like it's just gonna happen naturally.
Yeah.
Like the unicorn is just gonna let its
Africans
time
are
work.
waking up.
Yeah.
And actually, by learning the truth, because one thing I always say, and why I get so much rage sometimes reporting some things, is because again, when you look at the lies, the continuous lies, you're supposed to be actually angry.
It's so true.
You're supposed to. You have a right to demonstrate. You have a right to declare a war. Because all along people have been declaring a war against you.
That is so true.
Not you
and you don't understand why.
Exactly.
Why are people coming attacking every African person all over the world? You are, what you carry, where you're from.
I don't know if it's me alone.
Yeah.
If you grew up with the mentality of thinking Africa is just we're just supposed to have problems.
Yes.
And I'm looking at I'm looking at this religious wise. Like
that's
and
okay.
I've said this before. Like when I was still into the religion, like I used to look at things, especially like the poor people. But the first time I went to the slums, personally, I was so heartbroken. I'm not gonna say I grew up like most privileged life, but I grew up a really good life. I was not like, I didn't suffer that much as much as I suffered. The first time I went to the slums, I was so hard. So hard. People are living in sacks. Sacks. It is in Kawangware, kwa Moscow, kwa watu wanaishi kwa magunia, cottons. And before you get to those places or to the houses, sewages, nini. I was so hot. And then I tried to look at where we were staying. I was like, man, we're blessed.
Right.
And I'm never gonna take anything for granted.
That is so true.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you look at that, and it is super, super crazy. But personally, I'm saying in general that when you try to look at all these lies you've been given, the lifestyle, you're supposed to be actually very, very angry and demand. It is a right for you to demand change.
It's so true.
Especially after discovering it's your right to demand change.
Yeah.
Enough of Africans being told you can't. You can.
Yeah. You have been able since the origin of time. You've been able literally because it's so amazing. Like realizing that we were already civilized. We already had. We were already like smart. We had everything. For me, it's like the time, or what they say about the Europeans brought civilization to Africa. It's like we were the dumbest
and
people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I used to view the first time I went again to the slums, I was like, now maybe there's some people are just cast.
Okay.
Who just are meant to be poor.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I don't even with the term supposed to be, because that sounds even offensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they are, I don't know, it's meant to be. It's just the same term, but meant to be poor sounds more lenient.
Yeah.
It's like I have that mentality of like they are the rich, they are the middle class, they are poor, and this is just God's will. You know, the people are more blessed. The people, and then you come realize this is just all bullshit, man. Right? It's crazy. It is crazy, but
it is crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like if people really understand that we were never poor as a nation, as a continent, we never needed any help from anybody at all.
Have you studied about the art and crafts we've had stolen from Africa?
That blew my mind.
It blew your mind.
It blew my mind because basically that is your culture being stolen away,
exactly.
Your identity being stolen away,
exactly.
Your kind of like religion, understanding who you are, and the British Museum is refusing to give it back.
So apparently, I think it was Kate telling me that, and I remember you mentioned something which I also didn't know. I'm gonna do much more research on it when I get time. Maybe this weekend. That these people, and which makes a whole lot of sense. Because I've always questioned why has never demanded back its art and crafts. But if you try to look at actually Africa,
'Cause
if you try to look at actually Africa, 'cause I don't even we the term supposed to be, 'cause that sounds even offensive.
Africa,
But if you try to look at actually Africa, 'cause Africa as much as we do have puppet leaders, we've kinda, we've kinda consistently asked for our art and crafts back. We've consistently pushed for this agenda, pushed for our resources and everything that was stolen away from Africa to be returned back. But apparently the white people understand why and understand why till to date, why they can't return this back. And shout out to village, because I didn't know this. That is actually that they took this because number one, they understood, not only understanding this is backed by our spirituality, but they went to understand us as a people and our religion. You know how deep that is? And personally, I don't know where I've gotten this information. I always say this. I don't know where. I think personally I came back probably with past knowledge. Because trust me, I've said this, I always see visuals of how Africa we were. Some of the things I have them in my head despite learning. Like I have the images in my head. And I remember like most of the art and crafts were not just you couldn't just come up with the art and crafts from out of just nowhere.
That is so true.
This is not knowledge we taught even in school.
That is true.
For you to come up with the art and craft, number one, it's a message from the universe. That's how our ancestors used to work. It's either a message from the universe, and also if you go back to actually some South Africans actually still practice this, even with the herbal medication.
Yes, so
they
true.
want to just actually give you herbal medications without getting clear message. This is what you're supposed to use, and them not being really connected and intuited to the nature. So art and crafts do come from nature. So it is all about, I think, us also connected and there to be spiritually connected, come up with different types of healing art and crafts. Some was for messages, some were for music. Like they had different purposes. And the ones we had just for, but they really had deep meaning. But I'd really love to learn more on the ones they really held specifically and what it meant for Africans and what white people understood or understand from this. Because that is so interesting. That is something I find very interesting, why they still refuse to give us our art and crafts back.
Really. And they said that, this is what I heard, that it belongs to that part of the world because they were always supposed to say it. And like this Nigerian, I think he's a teacher or philosopher, saying that he had to travel all the way to Britain, basically, to just see all these artifacts. And the fact that a lot of Nigerians are saying they will never have that chance because there's an issue with visas. And the fact that he will just travel like few minutes, if it's in Africa or somewhere, to come and check this out, which is so saddening because everything you've said is what he said. Is like he doesn't understand why they're saying that they can just borrow us these artifacts. What do you mean borrow us?
No, we're supposed. It's us. We're supposed to borrow them.
Thank you.
We're supposed to borrow them.
You're saying how does that make sense?
No, like, what you said, I think you said the opposite. What he meant is that the Europeans meant we are supposed to borrow them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Which doesn't make sense because it belongs to us. And the fact that they're holding that so deeply, and I feel like people are really talking about it. Like obviously they're talking about it, but it's a hidden, that it really holds a lot about our identity. Let me say that's one thing which is really empowering to me, our identity, who we are. And the fact that all other nations or continents, they were so astonished in regards to how Africa was. It's the jealousy of power. Like Africa was like the most powerful continent ever. It still is in regards to even whatever infrastructures are not civilized right now. We are not are. But I believe that it was just the war for power because the country or the continent that has the most wealth is powerful, which you can see right now.
If you talk about power, we go back to kingdoms,
systems.
Talk about kings and queens. We had women who are ruling kingdoms.
It's so true.
And it's crazy when you look at today, women in the society. When you are actually a leader, we have the male dominance trying to fight you. When you are actually a leader, you're going to be criticized, or you're seeing less of a capable person. And actually, if you try to look at the society today, most of the women, and even shout out to Keith. I remember when I was getting my position as a manager, it was like, are you sure this is really gonna work? Like, you know, are people gonna be able to work under you? Because normally,
because you're a lady.
Normally, the world is not used to be having women as all that. So this takes us back to history of, again, we talk about power, kingdoms. Our kingdoms did contain a lot of power. You know, it's so beautiful learning about the history of Africa. I say it's so beautiful. I find it really, really, really beautiful. The kingdoms we had, the kind of leadership and ruling we had in our kingdoms. It's not what we have today. If try to look at the kingdoms and now today, which is politics, because I think they turned kingdomship into now politics, if I'm not wrong, which is all about ruthlessness. If you try to look at our kingdom leadership, it was all about not only sharing, not only living as a one large community.
Yeah,
you know?
So true.
There was no anything about boundaries
or power,
division,
greed.
this is my territory.
Yeah.
People are living all together,
It's
celebrating
so true.
cultures, kindness, love.
It's so
like
true.
it's just nothing but just purity.
It's so true.
That
That's the
generalizes
word.
everything. Purity. But if you try to look at politics, which they did turn it into their own terms, and them wanting now to take power out of Africans, it includes cells, jailing people, beating people,
so true,
killing people,
it's
like
so
ruthlessness.
True.
It is just so crazy.
It's very, very heartbreaking also. Because thinking about it, like, why would it makes sense, because if
it's
say
crazy,
this,
but again, if you try to look at
their end,
we still have it as Africans, trust me, because personally, if I still carry this knowledge, I hope by the time I'm dying and coming back, if I'm gonna come back, Africa should be back into kingdomship. Because I feel like some part of my life I was just a warrior. You know, I don't know if it's
I definitely know.
When we get flashes of so many things,
and
which I'll never, if I try to explain to someone, I'll sound crazy.
Which you're not crazy.
Exactly. But I do get flashes of so many things, and I'm like, how do I have this information in my head? Like, this is just so crazy. How do I have this information downloading in my head right now? And it's always Africa related. So we're gonna conquer.
I think
history, it's not actually, it's not dead. It's there.
It's
all you need
there.
is just to claim the lands back. That's all they have. They
so
have
true.
none of our resources. The ones
that
the
is
ones
true.
The ones
that
they
is
manage
so
to steal, it's fine. They can pay back. And they are going to pay back.
And also we can still
have
create
plenty.
more. That's what Kamlesh was saying yesterday. I was telling him, it's like, but still, because we're the ones who made these artifacts from the start, or from the get-go, we can still create more. I was like, yes, but the ones before time, or in time, at that time, it was like a very big deal, because it holds a lot.
And I agree. I agree, because I feel like right now Africans are so way behind, and we know nothing to do. I mean, for us, we're learning. But majority of our people do not know even bits of what we know.
It's so true.
Even a bit of what is happening in the world. Even connecting the dots. For me, at least, I could connect the dots even before joining the Blackout Fire. That the Huduma number was a trap.
I was questioning.
I didn't take Huduma number.
COVID also.
So many
I was questioning
people lined
that
up for Huduma number. When we had the COVID 19, I think that's when I was joining Blackout Fire, and the VACCINEs I already started spreading. So
questioning even the injections.
So personally, I've always been very, very alerted. But I feel like most of our African people do not really have that consciousness of questioning and first. What is this?
It's so true.
People
and
just go with the majority and the number,
and
they just go with the wind.
And
which is so wrong. So if you talk about the person you're trying to mention, when they talk about us getting back our art and crafts fast, I think it makes a whole lot of sense for us to be able to connect back to history.
That's the main thing. It's not even about getting it back.
To connect back to what our ancestors, why they came up with this artifacts, what was the idea behind this? How did they get to be so in tuned with or connected to the universe? it has to be learned.
It just
can't happen in a day. So we have to go back to our ancestral ways of living. Number one, trace back history.
That's it.
And this is what you see today, still even the white people. That is what you are actually to share. The white people are still trying to figure out the pyramids,
right?
You know,
right?
Like,
yes,
because no one can actually figure out that kind of civilization where it came
and they
from.
found it literally,
So
all these lies about.
We have to go back, all the way back, for us to connect to today who we are as Africans.
It's so true.
We have to go back to what we deny, and which is history.
And basically, the education system is, oh my gosh, like I'm seeing myself back in school learning these things very happily, you know, and I'm the smartest person.
I know. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Somehow, if maybe some Africans have come up with the consciousness or the personally hated education.
Right.
I'm not gonna come. I really hated school. I hated geography because it never made sense. If you look at geography, we've been told, and if you look at how they are destroying nature today, because they are literally destroying nature today. That is not African science. That is not the African way of living. Bio. That is biology.
Yes.
Most of the things we also taught, most of them are not true. Right. You know, the most important things I think we learned is our body changes. You know,
that is so true.
That is, I think, the most important thing we learn. Body changes, this and this and this, and what to escape.
It's so true.
But if you try look at what's supposed to be taught, what really happened? How did we get here? You know, we learned
who we were. And why don't teachers, they don't teach us about how civilized Africa was before colonization, but they teach us everything after colonization. That is sad.
Every single day when I'm learning about history of Africa, I always feel like going back to now the books of our school. The books of our history that we've been taught now in our school. I'd love to do so much. Oh my God, so much reference. If I can get a book, I think I'm gonna do this with my brother probably. Because I think I'm gonna do that with my brother. Like every book, including history, biology, we relate to the true African science. And what we are really taught. I say it's a lot of messed up shit there. Like a whole lot of messed up shit. It's just so crazy, and you're gonna personally end up laughing when I look at some things we were taught and look at the facts.
It's so true. But the thing is, like, which is happening right now, they're still being taught about this, which I was thinking like I would never in my future life want my kids learn about this ever.
What do you want to do to your kid?
What are they learning?
What type of okay, let me ask you, what system of education are you going to give your child what's on? Like, are they going to be in Kenya? Are they going to go to Britain? Are they gonna homeschool? And if it's homeschooling, who is that gonna be teaching this knowledge?
And what are they gonna be taught?
Exactly. Who is the teacher? Because if you talk about our teachers, it's the same people we know.
And you to be qualified to be or to have gone to school, you have to go through that educational system.
You need Dr. Arikana, Professor Lumumba.
I think she should be a good teacher to my kids.
You're gonna pay a whole lot of money
because that's the church just basically teaching. Because I would not honestly let my children in the future, God willing, to go through such an educational system. I'm telling you why. It's all lies. The fact that I'm sitting here and I'm like, no, I went to school to learn all that, which is all lies. It's very heartbreaking. Honestly,
it is crazy.
You know, who discovered what? What do you mean discovered what lake? It was here in Africa.
It was here.
No, you did not discover anything.
The funny thing is that, you know, it's crazy, the white people. So if you try to look at, I'd really love to understand Africa. If you try, I believe it was all claim. Not what we have today.
The way they're teaching us?
No. Africa way before. Before they came. It was a plain land.
Right.
Okay, with of course civilization.
Of course.
Civilized
schools. Systems. Yes.
But plain, when I talk about plain, is that there's no borders.
Okay.
There was no labels.
Yes.
This is road Kenyatta. This is mountain.
That is so true.
There was no labels. Again, we had plenty, enough to share.
More than enough, unlimited resources.
We knew, and oh my God, we had leadership, true leadership
is so true.
To guide us even in this sharing and everything that was really, really happening. But if you look at white people again, this is what I'm telling you. I still when I look at when I try to figure out how the white man has managed to put down the black person historically, everything wise, like it's mind blowing. Like it's the how do you have this mentality? Don't you find it fascinating? Fascinating every single day.
It is.
How do you have this mentality? How brilliant planning things 100 years before even they happen.
Right.
But white people came to Africa, and because they wanted to take power forcefully from Africans, which includes the kingdom, the wealth, and everything.
And also
they took it forcefully by now, even labeling. If I'm understanding correctly. They went labeling to mark territories. Because I feel like that is how they marked territories. Labeling.
That is true.
Places. Like Victoria. Who is Victoria?
Thank you.
Who is that?
And it's still
that is not
Victoria.
An African name.
At all. At all.
Like so many things. If you try to look at them, they came to dominate people,
that
and until
true.
Africans
and
actually came to understand, they came to dominate Africans, and they claim they left. That is the lie they told us.
They're still here.
They left. And, sorry, not sorry. African leaders are helping them.
That is
very
so
active,
true.
Practicing their ways,
that
still actually very active, very active. We were talking yesterday on the culture show of how these people are practicing so many ways of genociding Africans. It's so many crazy ways.
Lake Victoria, Joby, was the name of the Queen of England when they was coming, robbing, and killing. They named it after her. Victoria was the name of the Queen at the time.
Okay. Shout to her. But it's because that's what we're talking about. Like this, this why people came labeling places, and that shows their way of dominating Africans.
That is so true.
This was, I know this was just an African lake, but now I'm gonna call it Lake Victoria. That is you marking a territory.
Of course.
But none of these African leaders, even them, are not educated. Shout to kids for telling me that these people actually they do study outside. They have nothing education.
That is true.
They're just taught to actually just come and dictate to African people, act like they have power, and of course be puppets like the way they are. But I believe they have zero education. Kagame and Museveni are examples.
Okay.
I'm
listening.
I love Kagame. I love Museveni. Sorry.
Really? Even the way of writings in regards to how we used to write was stolen from us. That is also heartbreaking. And I feel like even Swahili, the way it's interpreted from English, which English is not really our language, literally. But the way we speak in Swahili is basically interpreted from English.
Wait, what? English?
The Swahili
is interpreted from English.
If I say something in Swahili, can you interpret it in English?
Before you say something in Swahili, can I interpret it in English? No.
Yes, you can.
Before you say something in Swahili.
If I speak in Swahili right now, how are you going to interpret it?
In English?
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Right? But before we knew English, we had our own.
Yes, Swahili.
Yes,
I get you.
Yeah. But that is also very sad because our writing, the way of writings are basically should be brought back. But now it's too late because we've learned everything in regards to learning new ways of writing.
Man, let me tell you, me again. Oh my God, the universe, I know you're listening. And you say words have power.
Okay.
And believe in that.
That is true.
Believe in that. Words have power. I'm gonna be here to watch Africa rise.
Right.
Oh my God, that's gonna be so good. I wanna see the
I don't think it's gonna be too it's not gonna take a long time.
I wanna see
it will not take a long time. Very soon.
I want to see the anger, nothing else actually. Okay, because once you have the anger, that's it. Power declared.
It's so
that's
true.
What Burkina Faso Niger Mali have done. Once you have the anger, nothing is gonna stop you. Okay, have you ever seen a mad person?
Yeah, I have.
Mad, like super mad. Mad. Yeah, they are unstoppable. Especially when you're going to war. It's like, okay, I remember there's a time of work then. I found one of these were fighting, and people are just there looking at
Are you
them.
serious?
And they're recording
Right.
to post on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm like, God damn, this is unstoppable for real. And that's why I
Yeah.
understand why people are literally pulling aside.
Yeah.
That's the type of rage you need, you know? Someone is so rage, has so much rage to the point where they can. That is what you need. Because
It's so true.
if you have this rage of having Raila fuel on you, Raila
Right.
telling you,
People-
oh, you know, you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you know, unga ya ugali imepanda.
Mhm.
Sasa tomorrow we need to go
It
have a
makes you feel
demonstration.
some type of way.
That is some perpetual talk, literally trying to
Yeah.
gaslight you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have rage. You're being
So true.
gaslighted. There's
Yes.
a difference.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. You're like,
Being
yeah,
gaslighted
that's
to
true.
go actually cause chaos.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be helped.
Yeah.
This is just for their own benefit.
It's so
But when you
true.
have rage, you take yourself
Yes.
outside there without anyone calling you.
That is
That's
so
it.
true. That
That's
is so
it.
true.
That's it.
And I feel like maybe, as you're saying, like time is up, which
Yeah.
is up, and you're gonna basically testify to this
Yeah.
with time. I don't think it's gonna take a long time because it's actually so depressing, and you're like, oh my god, I've been sitting here the whole time thinking like I'm this and this. You know?
Well, it's gonna take time. Being honest, cleaning Africa, and I was even
Okay.
admitting this, I think, on Monday
Okay.
or on Wednesday on the Africa Today show. Cleaning Africa is gonna take a lot of time.
Mhm.
It's a whole lot of mess.
I believe that.
I always love giving an example. Oh my God, with our very dear own brothers, Congo,
Okay.
DRC Congo.
Yeah.
If you look at that country,
Mm.
especially the mining sites, the
Yeah.
way they have been damaged, like
Yeah.
these people have damaged the land to
It's
just
so
get
true.
the gold,
Yeah.
get the cobalt, the diamonds, everything, ruthlessly destroying the land.
Yeah.
It's gonna
That's
take time.
what,
I
that's
definitely.
what they are.
Go back to
I have some hope.
back the normal civilization.
I have some hope. It might happen
I do
soon.
have hope too.
Yeah.
But again, it's not hopeful right now because people, the people, how do I say? People are really well educated in Congo. The problem is we have the troops
Yeah.
who are willing to kill people.
Yeah.
We don't have strong militaries to fight these, funded the people.
Right.
We need strong militaries.
That
Number
is
one,
true.
we need strong weapons.
Mm.
This is why we need Russia to help us, but
Right.
be careful.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Russia is really there to.
Right.
Russia they did open an embassy.
Right.
Country, let me check.
In Congo?
You think it's in Congo?
Right.
The Republic. One of the two.
Right.
Either DRC. One of the Central Republic or the DRC.
Right.
But that's what I believe. For Congo to actually first number one conquer, it's not Kenyan troops.
Right.
Sorry, Kenya is not gonna help you.
Mm.
Kenya is there to help US because the
That
current
is
set
so
president is a criminal.
Yeah.
We know that.
Okay.
You know. Which other troops? All the East African troops are not gonna help you. West African troops from Nigeria, from where, they're not gonna help you. Even the Sudan, the South Africa troops, I've not seen any report about them. We had South African troops who were sent to DRC.
Mm-hmm.
No reports about them. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
That Africa is gonna take a lot of time before we
Or less.
actually, but it's going to happen. Eventually, that's the end goal. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Whether they like it or
I was
not,
almost saying the same thing.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that's a long time, and that's a lot of things
people are tapping
taken away
into
from. It's so true.
Mhm.
Because also looking back into this, or looking the way things been, there's been a lot of distraction. Also, social media has been in regards to a lot of things are happening, but the main thing, even the people in public position cannot talk about these things. I don't know what contracts they've signed.
Let me tell you this, people.
Yeah.
When we have them saying humanity, they're not humans, but they're gonna destroy themselves.
That is true.
Humanity, they say humanity will destroy itself.
Yeah.
But at this point is where white people are destroying themselves because they're not humans.
Right.
Okay? They've been trying to destroy humanity.
Exactly, Joby. It's about humanity's going to destroy themselves. Africans never destroyed themselves. It's them that are not human. That's why they're so animalistic, so vicious. Africans never had to go steal each other's shit. They were and kill and rape and take everything. Africans shared. The funny part about it, if the European would have came and said, please share all your wealth with us, the African would have said, yeah, we'll share with you. The European didn't want that. Let's steal every goddamn thing. Fuck these niggas, take everything, kill them, mess their minds up. African would say, okay, we'll happily share with you. But that's not their mindset. They're animalistic. You see how animals are in nature. They take, they kill. That's what you're dealing with. So
Exactly. So when they say humanity is going to destroy itself,
I've heard
they're
that
talking
saying a
about
lot.
themselves,
Yeah.
and they are not humans, because
yes,
everything they
them.
do is against nature. Everything they do is against nature, and that's why I'm telling you why. Actually, as they quote themselves, it's happening because look at do you know the AI is a weapon against humanity, but it's also a weapon against them.
Right.
Number one example, just a few months ago, we saw the AI literally telling us that it was telling us about was Jesus? Was it Jesus Kid, or who was it historically that it was black? There was something that the AI generated.
Right.
The AI was telling you Jesus existed, he would have been black. They got the white people like, oh, because that's history. There wasn't no white people in Northeast Africa at that time. That was all African lands. And so the white people said, oh, AI is racist to white people. What? They were telling the truth.
Something you created. How is it being racist?
Yeah.
Make that
Exactly.
make a whole sense. Like you created this goddamn technology or whatever you want to call it. So how is it literally turning against you when it's supposed to be favoring you?
It's so true.
You know? Because it's supposed to go against humanity literally. But it's now going against you, the creator. And it's going to happen a whole lot of
because they forgot to tell AI to tell the lies that they've been telling. AI just went out and got the information. Say, hey, if this Jesus existed and these Jews, they'd have to be black. This was all Africa back then before they got invaded. So they'd be black people, which they would be. And white people, oh, shut it down. Remember, they shut that shit down too. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
You've seen the viral, I think if you on Instagram, you've seen the viral going on. I made up Niniza, all eyes on Haiti, all eyes on Congo, all eyes on Sudan, all eyes on DRC, all eyes on Palestine. You've seen that going viral. You are seeing that people reposting on Instagram. I'm sure you come along.
Free something?
Yeah, free Congo, whatever. Yeah. But there's some AI generated images going viral. And they're going viral for it. Because if it was someone who tweeted this, they will take down the post. But the AI is making this go viral. Make that. You know, they have for the longest time they've been pushing all the agenda of Palestine or whatever.
Yeah, that is
but right
true.
now the AI is now pushing all eyes on Haiti, all eyes on, like, people are literally using the AI to, how do I say? It's just gonna go against them. If you understand what I'm trying to say, it's gonna go against them.
What you're saying,
because they've been now censoring and monetizing people's information, like trying to check people's information, checking people's account, taking down video. That is what Black Ofa have been going through. But I feel like with the AI, because my voice actually is behind the doors. It's the AI talking. You don't know if this is me. You don't know if this is Kid.
You're scaring me.
You and these are goddamn liars. I just love the way the AI talks. It's the voice is crazy. Like, I can literally tell the truth right now behind an AI voice.
That is true.
And the video can go viral within seconds. It can be on TikTok, which is also what they're trying to restrict very much. But
very much.
Whatever they have created, which is including, look at cell phones. They thought cell phones are gonna make Africa dumb. Probably, the smartphones, people are gonna be TikToking, Facebooking. And now smartphones have become something different, are being used for business to create employment. Smartphones are now connecting people worldwide. Africans to the diasporans. The internet, they thought the internet is gonna make Africans probably dumber. The internet is now being used to do research, not for just dancing and posting.
I know.
So
there's more,
everything is going against them, and I'm happy to see it. So many years of success in being successful in lies.
I know.
You deserve to.
That was a lot of years.
You're
literally like you basically have a generation after generation learning the lies.
Imagine
that is not right. That's not humanistic, if there's a word like that.
That's animalistic.
Yeah. It's just crazy because you're learning lies, and then it basically grows into. That's okay, that's the truth about who I am. That's the truth about where I'm coming from, which is the truth, honestly.
Literally.
Yeah, and I can see Jiba, thank you so much for joining us. He's saying, I say let them keep the artifacts. Don't give or trade with Mzungus any more resources or talent from the continent, gold, titanium, oil, cobalt, people, etc. Stop begging the white man to return something they want.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like it's a high time we stop begging. The fact that this really holds spiritual, strong spiritual beliefs, not belief but spiritual. What's the term I'm supposed to use? But the fact that you just have the spirituality in it, you understand what I'm trying to connect it to the ancestors. You're supposed to get it back. Okay. For me, I'm gonna use an example of. Oh my God! Don't mess with anyone I love.
Okay.
Oh my God! Don't.
Yeah.
Anyone I'm rooting for 100%.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Keith.
Yeah.
Don't mess with anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad. Personally, I'm gonna use a very good example of the people I love, and I'm using my mom for example, my late mom.
Okay.
If today I discover this any wealth she left behind, and I had no clue about this, and someone secretly kept this away from me, I have the right to claim this back.
That is true.
It's not yours,
baby.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Okay, me and my brother. Okay, she worked her ass off so hard, and probably this was for the two of us. She was doing this for the two of us. So who are you to take off the sweat and enjoy this?
Yeah, this is what.
Who are you?
Yeah.
What role did you play in our life? Because I can't remember seeing your face, right? So yes, anything, and that is what I'm trying to reflect to Africans. Anything connected to you, and that is the artifact, everything. You're supposed to demand it back unapologetically.
It's so true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fight, guy. Fight.
It is time, literally. Like it can't be the same cycle every time, literally right now, because I'm like I was saying earlier, I would not want, God willing, if I have kids in the future, to learn about this. Go to school and learn about that? It's a lie. I will not take them to school.
Either I'm not going to have any in this era.
Okay.
Either I'm not going to have any in this era, trust me.
Okay.
Or if I'm going to have kids, the government will not know about them.
Why would you say that?
I'll give birth at home. Probably bribe a doctor before we get to make changes, get a birth certificate.
Yeah.
If there was a way not to be linked into the system, that would just be awesome.
Yeah.
Because the problem is when you're linked into this system, that's it. These people are following up your life.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
I was asking myself today in the morning when I was getting ready, what if every individual in this earth has an individual watching them?
Oh my gosh.
Like, have you ever guys thought
like
about
they've been
it?
assigned.
Like,
to
they
watch
are
you.
assigned to watch you.
Yeah.
This is your job on this machine. You have to track every moment and record.
OMG, that's
have
so
you guys
crazy.
ever thought about it? If not, the system, there's a way they are linked to us.
Obviously. They're always watching you.
There's a way they're linked to us. And this is why I think, again, we need to question the POLIO. VACCINEs. What do they contain? Why is it the first injection you need as a baby? Apart from we understand all the side effects and everything.
Yeah.
But hey yo, it's crazy. When you understand the world you're dealing with, it's just a lot.
You have to question everything. Jiva is also saying, ask any woman that'd rather have a male boss in regards to what you're saying about women in leadership. My wife had the worst time with female employees. The white man only respects and responds to force.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he says. And also, Joby, you're the dove hunter.
Thank you.
I think what he's saying about ask any woman that'd rather have a male boss because women fight. I don't know why it's it like that. Like women fight each other.
It depends again.
You know.
Women naturally I don't believe we don't get along with each other.
Me too.
I don't believe we really don't get along with each other.
We do get along.
Yeah, that is a term made up. That women don't get along, especially black women.
Especially black women. I've had that a lot.
It depends with I think the nature of a person, the nature of like me, this is how you're gonna behave.
Yeah.
Today maybe you're gonna wake up moody, doing your menses.
Right.
And I don't know if most men understand that menses really do make you moody.
Yeah,
it's not
they
that you
do.
want to be moody.
No,
they
they
make
do.
you moody.
Yeah.
You know, I could also come to work, maybe I'm just having my own day, like
Yeah.
maybe my hormones are just on
Yeah.
another level, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not that I don't want to talk to you, but I could sense some sort of maybe something about you, and I'm like, I don't like it. I think I've told you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't like that.
But
and
I kept asking, "Are you okay?"
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"You good?
And
Tell
me, I'm
me."
gonna talk.
Yeah,
Personally,
yeah.
I'm very open person.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
see anything coming from a woman, any
Mm.
sort of attitude, I'm
Yeah.
gonna mention it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're giving me an off energy, and I
Yeah.
don't like this. Okay,
Yeah.
and I don't jump on things that I've not.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I can see. So
Mm.
maybe you don't see it as maybe this, but I
Yeah.
see it. So probably try change this when you're around me.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you are okay with that, but please around me,
Yeah.
and pick it different.
Yeah.
But I don't believe women don't get along. It's just
They
that
do get along.
we do have different hormones and all that. Maybe you woke up, your boyfriend left you. You know, I don't want to talk to
Your
you.
boyfriend left
So
you.
come on, you know. I don't believe in that term that women don't get along. We
They
do get
do,
along.
yeah.
Depends with the. Are we cool? We cool. If we're not
Yeah.
okay, we're not okay.
Yeah, and
that's
let's
just
talk
also
about
the
it.
nature of women. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna be okay. You wanna pile up the attitude? That's on you.
Yeah.
You know.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And also, that's
That's
a
why I
lie.
think for me it works. Like, if I'm gonna work things out, you
Yeah.
wanna continue the same tone, then
Mm.
keep it up, baby.
Yeah.
You go. You're gonna suffer at the end of the day. You're gonna suffer.
I want to ask listen to a short video
Mhm.
in regards to what I found out. I know we know about this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like the listeners or anybody on TikTok can have just a small snippet of it and then basically talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we
You can share,
God. Yeah, time is also running.
Yeah, time is running.
Yeah, you
Let
can share it
me
on
share it.
stream.
Sure.
Africa had the people of West Africa had rich and diverse history and cultures, centuries before Europeans arrived. Africans had kingdoms and city-states, each with its own language and culture. The empire of Songhai and the kingdoms of Mali, Benin, and Congo were large and powerful, with monarchs heading complex political structures governing hundreds of thousands of people. In other areas, political systems were smaller, relying on agreement between people at the village level. Art, learning, and technology flourished, and Africans were especially skilled with medicine, mathematics, and astronomy. In addition to domestic goods, they made fine luxury items in bronze, ivory, gold, and terracotta for both local use and trade. West Africans had traded with Europeans through merchants in North Africa for centuries. The first traders to sail down the West African coast were the Portuguese in the 15th century. Dutch, British, French, and Scandinavians followed. They were interested in precious items such as gold, ivory, and spices, particularly pepper. From their first contacts, European traders kidnapped and bought Africans to be sold in Europe. However, it was not until the 17th century, when plantation owners wanted more the increasing demand for sugar in Europe, that transatlantic slaving became the dominant trade. This material was derived, in large part, from the writings of the International Museum of Slavery. Thank you for listening.
Now that's what we learn in school, how they were taken. Anything behind it, we don't learn about it.
Mhm.
I've never learned that in my life,
Mhm.
ever. No one talks about it anywhere, literally.
They don't want you to know the truth.
Yeah.
And this is how it's crazy how they lied to us. They changed the history with them coming here. They came as missionaries, but didn't talk about taking our people with them.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
they just spoke about coming to Africa, helping Africans.
That's what I know.
But
I
they're
knew.
not taught also in schools.
Mhm.
Like, hey, our people were taken
Thank
through
you.
Atlantic Ocean,
Mhm.
Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
That some had to kill themselves because they're like, nah, this is not gonna be a slave of anyone.
So true.
You know,
Yeah.
like none of this is literally taught. And to understand it's not taught,
Yeah.
shout out to my stepmom. My
Right.
stepmom told me she used to make jokes all the time. And actually a joke, you know, it's not a joke because I don't know if she believed it or she was just making a joke. You know, our people ship, you know, I wish I went, they were going to Europe. I wish I went along with my grandfather. Why did he leave me here? I'm
Gosh.
and then if you look at it,
Yeah.
do you really wish you really went through that?
Right.
It's not a joke as it sounds.
I know.
Our people went on a boat to Europe.
Yeah.
They just chose to go.
It's so true.
You don't want
They didn't choose to go.
They had
No
to
way.
They were put on chains, you are being beaten. Like, is that fact ringing a bell to you? And the understanding that, especially with the Africans in the continent, that will be so easy for us to connect with the diaspora people, the African diaspora people. What the pain they have gone through and the pain they go through every day, because the assumption for most Africans, and sadly I see it every single day with our very own people, it's all about, so long as you're in America, you have money, I can extort you how I want. I can become an opportunist the way I want. Like, I just see nothing from you as a Black American, but just an opportunity. Like, how can I get money? How can I scam? How can I? And that is disconnecting us, not understanding the pain that they still go through. Because we don't see every day about Black people being gunned down every single time. All we see is the Black Americans actually are crackheads, you know.
That's what they showcase.
Thieves.
Like they're still destroying us.
Exactly.
Even now.
Even through music, you know.
Thank you so
the
much.
image that is being shown about these people. So that's why we have their some. Oh, they have money to spend on this. Like, hey, you got guns, yo. You got, hey, yo, you popping. Like, what's up? You living the life. You know. So it is crazy. It's crazy. A lot needs to be changed.
It's so true. But it's gonna happen. Hopefully, maybe on the next show we'll talk about how a lot of African inventors are not mentioned. Invented a lot of things that we have right now, which is mind-blowing. Like, what? African? I just know a lot of white people inventing things, you know.
White people didn't invent nothing. They stole the inventions that you think they did from Black people. All those inventions that you think came from white people came from Black people. The first car was an African American that built it. Light bulb, African American, or just an African from America. The damn stop sign, African American. Damn trains, Africans, American. All that shit, African people. But they would steal it. They would steal it and put their name on it because they were the power. You know, you ain't give me this nigga, saying we're gonna make money off of it. Give you none of it. So that's what they did. The telephone, created by an African American, not by no belt. The telephone, created by an African.
It's about
the refrigerator.
There's the time I learned all this, like all of it. Like I did I think I did a whole show about it. Like a whole lot of things invented by Black Americans. John Mosquito is on YouTube. And says, Joby, I hope you're gonna be better. You're gonna be a better guest than Dimore, who was pissing everybody off when he was a guest. Shout out to Dimore. Jibba says that will enable a youth to have self-esteem in their own, and their worth isn't based on some outside force. Exactly, Jibba Jabba. John says that they tried to get out around that, saying that he was olive oil. Goddamn. And Jibba Jabba says, thank you for saying that about us Black Americans. Of course, it takes one to understand what you know, like understand everything. Literally how the world is viewed and the reality. Because I believe we have two different sides of the story. Like, there's how we view,
of course,
which is what we're meant to view, but there's the reality. And sadly, once we've been made believe Black Americans, not only are they all about crime, but to believe they have money. That's why you include now Mzungu also there. So anyone who comes from America, you see them as a
with an accent.
You know, exactly. Once you get the accent, you're like, God damn, this is the chance of me getting dollars. You know? Which you don't actually deny yourself chances of maybe an opportunity or
that
something.
Is so
just
true.
By being humane. Not being what the society wants you to be or what the white man wants you to be. Because this is all about the white man. Not about you.
It's so true.
This information that you've fed your head, it's there because it's been fed. It's not what you want to do.
That is
not
so true.
It goes both ways. That's why we were bridging the gap with Black Eyed Fire. When I grew up, they told me Africa was dirty, poor. They had flies on their face. They were starving and backwards. I was like, damn. Shit. I don't want to go to no Africa. Flies everywhere. People fucked up. I'm like, man, what? And so they would always tell African Americans, hey, nigga, we're going to send you back to Africa. You better be glad we took you as a slave. We can send you back there where it's all fucked up with with the rest of those Africans. Like, damn, don't do it like that. So that propaganda goes both ways.
It's true. But it's time for redefining Africa. It's just time also.
happening.
And I was like, okay, I'm getting this information here, a lot of it. I had to sit myself down and like, you know what? First, I talk about redefining Africa. I'm like, let me first learn about myself. It's basically easier when you learn about who you are, and then you can talk about other things.
If you don't know who you are, it's dangerous. And that can be used as a weapon to actually destroy.
It's so true.
So that's why most of the Africans, again, because our parents, our grandparents don't know who they are. Passing the same information. We've grown up with the same and
It's
not
so
questioning a lot. But when you start understanding who you are actually and questioning, you'll find yourself saying no to so many things,
it's so true.
including bullshit. You know?
That is so true.
Because for me, I've grown up. I'd say this. I've grown up being a rebel.
Okay.
You know, especially in things that don't. If I see this is just not okay with me, it's not okay with me. F what the society says. This is not okay with me, and I'm not happy, and I'm gonna go against it. You know. So like I'd give an example. Normally, like when you finish school for girls, you're expected to stay at home, right? Either you're gonna get married, mostly in African homes, right? You're supposed to wait for your husband.
That is true.
Someone who's gonna marry you. If not, majority of the women even get pregnant when they're still at their
That
parents'
is true.
home,
That happens a lot.
you know, because of being locked indoors,
so
not
true.
being exposed to much. So when you get that little chance, you're gonna, bust your pussy wide open
That is
because
so
you're not
true.
getting these chances of just enjoying life. So personally, I said number one, no. From the time I finished school, I said I need a job. My dad said no. I'm gonna put you in my job. I'm like, bro, I've been here for the past 6 years. You've been keeping me in this job of yours every holiday of my life. I never even enjoy my holidays when school are closed. So I'm done with school. I have my own ID. I think it's time I step out, also get my own money. Because the last time I checked, I should not even ask you money for pads. So I'm not here to beg you again. And once you see me with a rich boyfriend, you start creating assumptions. So can I step out? He was like, no. I packed my shit and I left. Before I left, I don't want to say I really left forcefully. He forcefully kicked me out. But I packed my things. I was like, yo, I want to leave. Help me get a job. If not, I'm just gonna stay with my uncle. But he started being abusive. It's like, oh, you and your mother. Where is my mother coming from?
Right.
So you and your mindset of me wanting to be here and you not paying me, and to me to be your slave after being your slave for so many years, I'm done. So I left, and look at me. Sometimes you have to make choices.
Thank you.
Don't go with the norm. That is why we're lost.
That is
as
true.
Black people. We're going with the norm, which is westernization.
That is true.
We have lost culture.
We are not going back to basically understand and research who we are. Because what I've been told is what they want us to know about ourselves, which
starts with power.
Right?
Say no.
Yes.
Okay? That's where I knew what power is about. Like I have the right to say no.
That is so true.
Like the moment I understood like me having my ground what it really means, it's still dope.
It's
like
so
I say this and that's what I stand on. If that hurt you, I'm so sorry. But that's me. Okay. I'm gonna be apologetic maybe, but I'm still not sorry because I'm still gonna stand to my ground either way.
That is so true.
Alrighty,
beautiful people. That has been a Let's Pop with Iraton. Such an amazing, deep, informative, educated conversation with the lovely Sazi Joby. On Let's Pop with Iraton, the topic was Civilized Africa before colonization. I feel like if we talk about this, we can really talk the whole time because you're
Isn't that funny? Civilized Africa before the European. Africa was the only civilized place on the planet. The Africans civilized the rest of the world. And they came back and tell you like, Africa civilized the world, not the other way around. You're the only people that's civil. European is still not civil. He still steals, rob, and kill. Only civil people are African. Where you run around stealing people's shit? you run around causing wars. You're not.
Yeah.
To have a civilization, Iraton, you must be civil. Go ahead.
Peter C says, this is the most talkative guest I've ever seen. God damn. You mean I'm talking to, like, I've been active? I don't know.
He also says, okay, Joby, you were a good guest. You can come back again. That is true. You definitely come again. And we really appreciate you so much. Yeah, you're very, it's a conversation, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they wait for you to ask questions.
Yeah.
Which should be like a conversation.
Yeah.
Because it is a conversation.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a conversation.
Yeah.
Not a question,
not a question,
whatever. Yeah, but
a question and answer.
It wasn't like you did Christine's boyfriend yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean, man, I'm not gonna say that. For the compliments.
Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us all this
when is the boyfriend coming back to work for free? When's he coming back to intern? Next week?
I don't know.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining Let's Pop with Iverton. Remember to join us later on Breathing and Scope.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Yes, you're in demand, sweetie. So thank you so much, Joby.
Your show.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I appreciate you. And
I need my salary raised.
Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you and
Thank
continue
so
being the voice.
You and me both, Joby. You and me both. I said you and me both.
Okay, I didn't get that, but anyway, much love for me.
No, you said you need to get your salary raised. I said you and me both.
Him too. He needs to get his salary raised.
Oh, yeah. Me and
me.
Oh, it's coming, kid. It's coming. You know, it's coming.
All right, Joby. I almost had to call you that word you don't like.
Stay positive. You know, stay positive. But much love. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Guests, J to the O to the D to the Y. Catch us just in a few minutes on the Within Scoop Show, and much love.
Ain't that funny? That name suits Joby. That's a cool name. It sounds better
than yourself.
Pardon?
It sounds better. I said that name suits Joby. It's cool. It sounds a whole lot better than her English name, Natalie. That don't suit no Joby. Natalie. Iraton, does Joby sound like a Natalie?
Yay! Apparently people don't think I'm a Natalie. God,
she does sound like a Natalie. Not Natalie.
You're right. A Natalie. Does Joby seem like a Natalie?
Yeah.
Get out of here. No, she don't. That's a cornball cracker from Kansas. Natalie. Hey, Natalie.
Thank you so much. See you. Have a great weekend. It was amazing to have you guys over. Remember, it's all about
that ain't even a cool name. It's me, the Natalie. Hey, get out of here.
Are you feeling bad? Are you feeling bad, Ross's kid?
Adékúnlé